Well, hello, everyone. My name is Marci Steiner, and I am really excited and honored to be with you to explore these incredible products in the nutrigenomic space. And we're going to be hearing about this product line that is absolutely going to blow you away, as it did for me about 10 years ago when I was taking a look. I want to start our exploration by watching an ABC News primetime investigative report that's kind of antiquated. It's with a very famous reporter, John Quinones. He's famous for really kind of going into companies and revealing the truth. And we're going to explain, now I'm going to bring you up to speed because this is very antiquated. It's certainly not our marketing piece, but it's the beginning of the history of the breakthrough technologies that I'm so excited to share with you tonight. So just 3 minutes long, and then I'm going to bring you up to speed because a lot has happened in terms of technology breakthroughs since this news report. This is the beginning. Here we go.
An ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm it.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%. That's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
Yeah, I don't either. So I don't know if you guys had ever heard of that term oxidative stress before, but I want to start there. I want to make sure you understand what it is, what causes us to have it, what it does in the body. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to bring you up to speed on some very exciting biohacking tools. And we've got some incredible guests that are joining us this evening too, to share their experiences with you. I can't wait to get to them. So first of all, oxidative stress, it's damage to the cells of our body. It's normal cells that mutate, that change into abnormal cells, literally from breathing air. We take in a nice deep breath. It feels so good, but we've got oxidative stress. Just like an apple that you would cut in half and put it on the kitchen counter, it turns brown. That same process, that aging, that breakdown is happening inside of us, and so many other things are causing it. It's incredible. Chemicals added to the water to make it safe, preservatives and fungicides and pesticides and GMOs in our food. We've got Wi-Fi, electromagnetic frequencies bombarding us that we can't even see. We are like being attacked, right? We got the cell phone up to our head. We're out taking a little break, sitting on the bench at the park, but we're breathing in jet fuel. We're going and washing our hands at the restaurant. And even if we're really careful about what we're eating, we're still got the chemicals going through our skin, our largest organ. It's almost like we're being hijacked, right? By lots of different things. We are literally, as a result, on fire with free radicals. We have 300 septillion, such a huge number. I had to look it up, a 3 with 23 zeros, 300 septillion free radicals attacking us, damaging our cells, aging us every single day. And that damage, that oxidative stress, it's at the core of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different breakdowns and malfunctions in the body. So here's the thing. We know this is a problem because a lot of people have been looking for solutions. Maybe you have. So far, the answer has been to turn to antioxidants. It's been to turn to vitamins, to nutrients. Like we're all eating our blueberries, goji berries, acai berries, camu berries. We're doing everything that we can. Here's the challenge. Those green smoothies, everything we're doing to eat organic food and take these natural supplements is just not enough because those antioxidants are direct in nature, meaning one blueberry can only neutralize one free radical and then it dies off. So you can imagine how many blueberries we'd be eating every day, right? So if you are like me and a lot of other people, they kind of want to know, what about the people that I started thinking about when I watched that news clip? I don't know if it happened to you, but when I watched that news clip, I was thinking of different people, like my friends, my family that have different diseases and breakdowns in their body. And I want to be very clear, in no way are we, as we explore this together, in even insinuating that we're going to cure, heal, treat, mitigate any or prevent any disease or condition, okay? But I started thinking about these people that need to know about this information, people that I wanted to help as a result of learning about this. And I'm getting ready to tell you everything. But here's the thing. If you'd like to see the science yourself, you can actually check it out at pubmed.gov. That's the National Institute of Health Library of Medicine. PUB, someone was just asking, what is that? Pub, like public, PUB, med, MED, like medical, .gov, like government. You can go there and there'll be a search bar. You can type in oxidative stress. Last time I did that, I found over 300,000 studies that were linking oxidative stress to all kinds of breakdowns in the body. So everybody's turning to the antioxidants. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's not enough because we cannot eat enough green smoothies or take enough blueberries in a day. But what happened was very significant. When this formulator of our flagship product, Protandim, and by the way, this discovery didn't happen overnight. It was decades at Duke University when he was able to take 5 plant ingredients and get them in a specific recipe, like a ratio. Something ended up happening in the body that had never happened before. He activated a protein messenger called NRF2. Now, notice I did not say supplement. That's been the solution that everyone's turned to, supplementing, like taking a vitamin, putting it in your body and letting your body absorb the nutrition. This is a different technology. When we're thinking activation, I want you to think about going to the light switch and flipping it on. The lights come on. Well, when Dr. McCord, when this product, Protandim, our flagship product, activated this NRF2 protein that usually lies dormant, but after you're 20, certainly it's turned off. You turned it back on. And when that gets activated, that protein messenger, it in turn upregulates close to 300 survival genes. and detoxification genes in the body. They get turned on over that. Can you imagine like turning on all those survival genes? It downregulates fibrosis genes. So genes that are inflammatory in nature, it's like taking those dimmer switches and turning that down. And the amazing thing that happens when you activate the NRF2 protein with Protandim, NRF2, is that your cells become like manufacturing plants. They start to actually make their own antioxidant enzymes like catalase, like superoxide dismutase, and glutathione. In fact, Protandim upregulates your body's ability to make its own glutathione 300%. So this Protandim is like an indirect antioxidant because your body starts making its own without having to consume them like a blueberry. And you get put in a position where you can fight those free radicals, not at a 1-to-1 ratio, but at 1,000,000 to 1. In fact, he says up to, Dr. McCord, up to 1,000,000 to 1 per second every second. Did you see how John Quinones went on live television and how his oxidative stress came down 45% in 14 days? The very first independent study that was done on Protandim, it's published at NIH, puts us as a company in a position where we can make a legal claim that no one else actually in the world can make. So we don't have any competition out there for what I'm getting ready to claim to you. I don't care if you work with the FDA or what your educational background is. I'm proud and excited to share with you this claim. And that is that activating your body with Protandim NRF2 will reduce your oxidative stress, that damage to your cells in aging, by an average of 40% in 30 days. So I started thinking about this and I was just like blown away. I'm like, well, who doesn't need this? Because at first I was thinking, well, this would be good for this person or that person. And then I started to think about that apple or avocado or banana you cut in half and put on a plate. It doesn't matter if that apple is a Pink Lady, a Red Delicious, or a Granny Smith, it's going to turn brown. If we're a mammal, we're breaking down and we need this solution. So I'm excited because that was just the very first flagship product. We are literally being hijacked in our environment. I think everyone here knows that, right? Like I said, you're sitting on the bench, you're pumping your gas, you're breathing in the benzene. It's almost like as hard as we try, it's just not enough. We are literally being hijacked by our environment. And today, maybe that's you, and maybe that's why you're tuning in right now. People are looking for solutions. We want to have a little more control with our health. And that's where we get into the space of biohacking. That's what we're going to be speaking about right now. Tools that can help us to actually hack into our own biology, our bodies, and direct our health in a positive direction. So now we're not just a Protandim NRF2 company. I'm going to share my screen with you now, and God willing, and we are going to explore the different products that we have now moved into in this space. Okay, we started with just Protandim NRF2. You can see here, we've now, Lifevantage is the activation company. We do have daily essential nutritionals. However, we really are known for this different technology, activation. So let's talk about that. Okay, I've said a lot about Protandim NRF2. Hopefully you guys can see this on your screen like I can see on mine. But what we can claim is to lower that oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. Now, most of us are very conditioned when we're learning about a supplement to taking a look at the bottle and going, what's in there? What are the ingredients? And we think about the therapeutic benefits of each ingredient, like we see here at the bottom. Turmeric, that's got anti-inflammatory properties. Or milk thistle, that's really good for supporting the liver and detoxifying the body, right? Green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha. That is just not the cool thing about these breakthroughs. It's about, yes, there are therapeutic, because they are sub-therapeutic amounts of these ingredients. In synergy, they're actually 18 times 1,800% more powerful than taking them individually as ingredients. But it's the activation, it's the flipping of the switches that enhances the mechanisms in our body. That is what is so powerful. And you don't feel it. You don't feel your oxidative stress come up or down. People ask me that. It's kind of like your cholesterol. It goes up or down, but you don't feel it. So we do absolutely say that you want to keep, you didn't get to where this rusting situation is in your body overnight. You want to keep letting it go down over time, at least a minimum of 90 days, lowering that oxidative stress, but preferably 1 month for every decade that you've been alive. Okay. So let me tell you that we're not just a Protandim NRF2 company. We have a few other Protandims. We have an NRF1 Protandim activator. It's activating a different pathway. Now, let me ask you guys a question before I go on. Would you say that our bodies go towards a state of healing naturally? Like you get a scab, if you cut yourself, you don't have to do anything special for that to happen, right? Our bodies are always doing that. But if we're under attack, which we are by all those free radicals, we're not able to function the same. Just like if you were trying to, take care of your kids, make them some food in the kitchen and they were pulling on your sleeve, you wouldn't be able to do it as easily, right? So if you had a mother's helper that could bring your kids in the other room, it would make it easier for you to make the pancakes, right? That's kind of what Protandim NRF2 does. It takes the load off our body. Every cell of our body, every system of our body is divine. It knows what to do naturally. Our endocrine system, our immune system, our respiratory system, our circulatory system, endocrine system, they all know what to do, but if we're under attack, it's not going to function the same. So with the Protandim NRF2, we're taking the load off an average of 40%. And actually, we can see it continues to go down over time. It's closer to a 70% reduction in 120 days. And with this Protandim, the NRF1, it's increasing your cell's mitochondria. That's what the ATP, that's what's giving your cell more energy to do what it's divinely supposed to do, what it knows to do. So the two of these Protandim really work together. We call this a dual synergizer. A lot of people will take them together, but then we introduced a third Protandim to activate a different pathway called NAD. You see, a lot of people have been looking to do dramatic caloric reduction to extend the life of our cells, to extend their life. You've probably heard about sirtuin proteins. Whenever you are doing this dramatic caloric reduction, like fasting or intermittent fasting to get more sirtuins, there's a molecule that's present called NAD. Lifevantage, our company, found a way to activate through nutrition, to activate your body, making more NAD, thus making more sirtuins without having to do that fasting. So what we didn't know when we introduced, and by the way, this one you can see the benefits here on the screen. But what we didn't know is that when we combined all three Protandim together, that there would be a synergy amongst all three activators that would make each activator increase its efficacy over 100% in just 24 hours. So a lot of people like to start their activation experience by taking this tri-synergizer. We even have patents on this, okay? So good way to start. Now, I want to tell you, if you want to take it to the next level, we introduced nutritionals called Rise AM and Reset PM. This Rise AM is going to give you more energy and focus and clarity during the day, and it's going to make you feel calm and relaxed at night. And it's also, when you take these nutritionals at the right time of day, they are going to enhance, they're going to maximize the effectiveness of the whole Protandim activation line. So a lot of people like to take this with that. We also have some other unique nutritionals, a D3 and Omega Plus, because this also has Omega and the vitamin D together. But the reason why I love this is really because it is so pure. It's so pristine. Our products are all based on science. In fact, we exceed all the requirements by the FDA, and even Olympic athletes are cleared to take our products because we have BSCG. It's the Banned Substance Control Group. We have that clear certification is what I was looking for. Certification. I think I need to drink my Axio. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Hold on. That's going to help you guys. I'm telling you. Okay. So omegas. Oh my God. Ours are so pristine. It literally goes boat to bottle. I like to chomp down and suck the oil out like it's like candy. It's really, really good. No fish burps, no fishy taste because there's nothing rancid. Okay. Now let's talk about proactive immunity. When I'm talking proactive immunity, why am I going to the gut right here? It's because over 80% of our body's immune system is located in the gut. And our products, Lifevantage products, are all unique. Our probiotic is different than all the other probiotics on the market because of the delivery system. We have encapsulated the good bacteria in a way that it can survive the stomach acid, and then it gets time release. You get that good bacteria going all through the intestines, and so it gets where it needs to go. We also have a prebiotic that's like fertilizer for the probiotic. In fact, people will ask me, well, which do you think is more important? If you had to choose, I'd almost rather go with the prebiotic. It's a yummy tasting powder that is going to it's going to fertilize what you already have in your intestines. But this one's got some other benefits too, like it helps with regularity. A lot of people use it for curbing their sugar cravings too. So love the prebiotic. And when it comes to proactive immunity, a lot of us have been taking some other nutritionals like zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry. Lifevantage put it all together in a daily wellness product, another powder that tastes yummy. I like to put my daily wellness and my prebiotic together, mix it up. And it's like, I feel like I could karate chop anything, but we really do today need to be proactive about our immune system. So we're prepared because we don't know what's coming, right? We just got to keep it high and really support it. We've got a fat burner that's citrus based that actually through the newest study that we have shows you're taking this, it's targeting that visceral fat, that dangerous fat around your organs in your middle, and it burns over 180 calories a day while you're sitting on the sofa. Now we've taken this NRF2 technology and we have brought it into a lot of different spaces. I'm excited to run through these with you really quick. We're targeting specific organs of the body to activate specific places like our eyes and our brain with this IC Bright. It lowers the oxidative stress as a result of digital devices like we're looking through right now and the sunlight. We've got Axio, which is what I just drank. Oh my gosh, so yummy. We have it caffeinated decaf, comes in these little easy to use packets. I mix it in water. And everything shows in our science that you feel like an uplift in your mood. So I call it happy juice, but it also does give you physical energy. It helps you to focus and it improves your cognitive function. Do you know anybody who might have a little brain fog out there? Might want a little uplift in a natural way that's actually activating your brain? Axio would be a great solution. And I know my kids love it. It's just incredible. I can't wait to hear what people have to say about this Axio. Some of our guests are lovers of this as well. Here's the thing, the cumulative effect, the Axio, the cognitive effect, it's cumulative. So the more you keep drinking it, the sharper and sharper and sharper you get. That's why I said, I think I need to drink more of it. Okay. Now people are giving Protandim to their dogs. We did everything we do, as I said, is based on science. We did the research with canines and we developed a treat. I have not tasted this one, but dogs do eat through the bottle. They could tell in the double-blind placebo studies with these dogs, the researchers could tell without looking at the file which dogs were on the placebo and which were on the pet tandem. It's incredible what it does in terms of supporting not just lowering their oxidative stress, but also extra added ingredients for their joints and their coat and their hearing and their eyesight, etc. Now, we took the Protandim onto the skin. It's because I got to tell you, when that news clip aired that you guys saw, it was amazing what happened. All these researchers and scientists from all over, Harvard, Virginia Commonwealth, Colorado, Michigan, Vanderbilt, Ohio, they all heard about this and they contacted the formulator and said, if we can get our hands on your product, we want to start researching your product. And so now Lifevantage knows of at least 50 individual researchers, independent research institutions that are researching our products. Okay. And 28 of those have already been completed. The findings are also submitted and published, peer reviewed by NIH scientists and published at NIH, that pubmed.gov. Well, there was studies that were done by Ohio State and Virginia Commonwealth on coronary artery disease, scar tissue going away in the body, even the American Heart Association that had never endorsed a supplement before was so blown away by this research. They actually wrote this huge article endorsing Protandim in their magazine, Circulation Magazine, went out to all the American Heart Association members, Department of Defense, the National Institute on Aging published a study saying Protandim lowered it was crazy. I mean, I don't even want to get into all the research. I'll tell you, LSU did studies where they had all these mice exposed to carcinogens, and the mice that were nibbling on the Protandim versus the placebo didn't have the same incidence or spreading of the cancerous tumors. So when Lifevantage heard about this, they're like, okay, let's take this NRF2 technology and put it on the skin, because it is our largest organ, that and the fascia, right? We got to protect it from the outside. So this is where we developed the True Science Beauty System. It is all clean and it works. We also took it onto the hair. There's an app, it's called Think Dirty. If you want to download it for free, it's an independent app, but it gives you a toxicity rating. You realize everything you put on your skin is going to be filtered through your organs, through your body. So it is important to know the toxicity level of what you put on your skin on the outside. Our products are all rated 0s and 1s. They're all very clean. And like I said, they work. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is my friend's husband. This is my son's hairdresser. I mean, these are not like people that I don't know. These products really work. And then lastly, I'm so excited to tell you about this other product, the liquid collagen activator. Now, when I found out Lifevantage was going to offer collagen, I thought, well, how is that going to be unique? Because there's so many collagens on the market. Our collagen's unique for several different reasons. Primarily, we have a hydrolyzed liquid collagen. So it's such small particles that your body can actually take that collagen in. Did you know that collagen is the most prevalent protein in our body? It's all over. So it's not just affecting our hair, skin, and nails. And most of the collagen on the market doesn't even get absorbed. And it's only 1 or 2 types. We have lots of different types of collagen all over our body. Lifevantage collagen does not do the one thing that all the other collagens does, which is to help replenish the collagen that you've lost. Whether or not your body could take it in is a question mark. But when it comes to True Science collagen, it's happening. We're doing 3 functions, not just 1. Think of the acronym ARM, A-R-M. Our collagen is unique because our collagen actually flips genomic switches. It's an activating collagen. It flips the switch that actually helps your body to produce and make more of its own collagen. And then you have the R for replenish. And it's not just replenishing some collagen that you've lost. There's 10 different types of collagen that it's replenishing. And then the M is maintaining, because we are actually turning down the genes in the body responsible for collagen breakdown in the first place. So we're activating more, replenishing what you've lost, and we're turning down the genes that are breaking it down in the first place. And I got to tell you, activation, there's new science that is coming out that is just crazy on the synergistic effect. In fact, we have a patent pending on the Protandim NRF2 taken with the True Science liquid collagen activator. It's affecting our fibroblast cells. It is literally affecting our body cells' ability to respond to cellular stress in terms of how it recovers, how it's able to turn back and be resilient in a stressful situation. A lot of us are so stressed out that our body doesn't even have time to recover. The science is showing here that when we take both these products together, we are getting a synergistic effect that is priceless. In fact, you can just ask if you want to see more details on the research. Our collagen is being activated because of the red quinoa extract, the fish collagen peptides, and there's berry citrus fruit extract. So you don't taste the fish. There's no meat in this that's like it's not chicken collagen or anything like that. It is delicious. I love it. They come in these individual glass bottles, easy to recycle and reuse. And it tastes so good. I put mine in the refrigerator. And you guys, I got to tell you, collagen, it's not just hair, skin, and nails when we talk about our collagen. Look at this chart. We're talking nail health, hair health, muscle recovery, joint support, gut health, bone, eye, liver, cardio, sleep, mood, brain, cognitive function, sexual health. That's right. Literally, we have women who have struggled with postmenopausal issues, or men that might be struggling with their sexual health. And when they start activating their collagen with True Science, we're seeing like more juiciness happen in the bedroom, which is very exciting. Okay. All right. I saw somebody smiling, but here's the thing. You can see the results. You've got to take a lot of pictures if you're going to be using our collagen. You can see the before and after, but there's 10 different types. So it's working all over the body. If you have the pictures, you can see the little changes. See, you can see in this picture. If you don't have the pictures, you may not see it. Over time, it continues to get better and better. Look at this eyelid at 30 days, at 60 days. You can see the changes over 24 days. Now, sometimes it takes longer, but you can see these changes over time. I think we're gonna hear from some people here. I can't wait to get to them. Sorry, I'm trying to talk as fast as I can, but I'm excited to share these pictures and to tell you that you want to keep activating your body because it does continue to get better and better. And if you see this on the outside, can you only imagine what's going on inside the body? Collagen is lining our gut. It's lining our brain. It's affecting our heart like so much. I can't even tell you. Look at these hands. Look at these veins. Okay. Our body is made up of collagen. And this is not my tush. Okay. But it is happening all over the body. I do recommend that you take pictures. I was looking at all these pictures and I was blown away when when the collagen just came out. And when I saw this is my friend's legs, I was like, okay, wow, this is really crazy. Now I want to activate my body with liquid collagen activator. This was me after 7 days. Now you may not have the same experience that I had, but I could see a difference in just 30 days, right? So definitely want to have your own experience. We have taken these products, put them into different categories, stacks, we call them, to make it easy for you to decide where you want to start or where you might want people in your family to start activating their body. Oh my goodness. Okay. The lights just came on. I'm talking to the kitchen because we've had no power for days and the lights just came on right now. So hopefully we're still good. Do I look okay to you guys? Okay, awesome. Okay, we're okay. It's gonna be okay. Let's see, where am I going now? So if you look here on the right, this Healthy Glow Essential Stack, that is a very popular way to start with the True Science Liquid Collagen and the Protandim NRF2. Okay, so let me just stop share for a second. I know that if you're watching this, you might have just been writing down or thinking about a lot of different products, what would be best for you. We have product experts available to consult with you and help you prioritize where to start. And I think in order to kind of help you as a first step, you may want to listen to some of these guests share their experiences. It might be really helpful for you. And then at the end, I'm going to wrap this up, tell you where you might do a little bit more research and a little bit more about the pricing and things in our loyalty program. If you have to leave us now, thank you so much for being here. But I am so excited and hope you'll come back to listen to our guests when I will be recording tonight's call. All right. So our first guest is a physical therapist. He is a myofascial release therapist. Actually, he is an author. He's a dad. He's an incredible husband, and he is a lover of these products. And I know he's shared with so many people, had his own experiences. So I asked him to come in from Maryland. Phil Tavolachi, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes. Thank you for being our first guest to share with us. I'm going to just turn it over to you. We'd love to hear a little bit about your personal experience and your experience with your family and maybe some of your clients. I'm assuming that you share these with them as well, but thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me here, and thanks for that great overview. So, I came across this information just a little bit over 10 years ago. A friend and colleague shared that ABC News report that you shared with us tonight. And she didn't even know I had been dealing with a respiratory issue for 2 years at that point that was really impacting my life. I was exposed to mold, and it was really wreaking havoc in my body, and nothing I was trying was making a difference. I saw that information and I just thought, oh my gosh, what if reducing the oxidative stress in my body and like putting out the fire in my lungs would make a difference? And very long story short, 4 months in of just taking Protandim NRF2 because it was the only activator out at that point, that whole 2-year issue turned around. And like you mentioned earlier, Marci, I'm not saying that it cured or treated or prevented or mitigated anything. It's just what unfolded in my physiology. but it really opened up my awareness as a physical therapist. Like, everyone I work with is inflamed. Everyone has these issues. And I certainly wanted to share and educate about it. And I've been activated in taking most of these products for almost 10 years now. And in addition to the Protandim Nerf 2, I'll just very quickly highlight that the most recent activator, the liquid collagen activator, was again life-changing for me, because at the end of 2021, I had a flare-up of spinal pain, and I've had some spinal issues my whole life. I've, had some injuries when I was younger. And my spine was doing, mostly well for this last decade because of activation and everything I do. But at the end of 2021, it really flared up. Nothing was helping it. I was on like 7 months of really dealing with a lot of intense discomfort. It was impacting my work. It was impacting my life. I saw the collagen activator came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know activation works. I know collagen is hugely impactful in the body. I mean, I work in the connective tissue system, and collagen is one of the main components of connective tissue. So I was just thinking, this could be a possible solution for me again. And within about 5 weeks of activating my collagen, that issue drastically reduced, in a couple more weeks and it was gone. And so these products are unparalleled. And so, yes, of course, my parents are on them. A lot of my patients take these products. I'll briefly mention my parents. They've been activated as long as I have been now, just a bit over 10 years. And so much has unfolded for them. I wouldn't possibly want to take the time to go into all of it, but I'll highlight one thing, because I think it really speaks to what you mentioned early on in your presentation, in that our bodies are always moving towards balance and harmony and health, but sometimes there are barriers in the way. And my parents, for most of their adult lives, my mom was dealing with deficiency in iron and, some of the things that come along with it. My dad was on the opposite end of the spectrum. He had an overabundance of iron and had to go and actually have his, blood drained every 2 to 3 months to remove that iron. They started activating in 2013 along with me. And within a year, my mom's iron went up and normalized. My dad's iron came down and normalized. And so it's just a perfect example of the body finding its way back to balance, no matter where it is, when you take those straitjackets of stress and inflammation and other challenges off of it. And I've seen similar responses in my patients over the years. Again, just a myriad of different positive things unfolding when the body's empowered to do what it naturally does. So that's what I'll share with everyone tonight.
Wow. Thank you so much, Phil. I'm so happy for all of your experiences, and for those that we don't even know yet and haven't even heard their stories. But thank you so much for sharing with us. I love the way you just put everything. Amazing. I like a body going into that state of balance. And clearly, like, between both, what happened with both your parents, they must be meant to be together for sure on every level. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Potomac, Maryland, to Kim Cohen, who's an art teacher, also a mom, and has been using these products with her entire family. And she's got a lot of great stories, even her dog. So Kim, are you here with us?
I'm here. Thank you.
There you are.
Marci.
Hi, Kim.
Hi,
Nice to
Marci.
see you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. And I know I have a lot of stories that I could tell, but I'll just go over a couple of things that happened with my family. We had such a positive experience. It's hard for me to pinpoint just a couple of things, but the highlights are, Marci shared this with me 10 years ago, and she was telling me about oxidative stress because I was having a lot of stomach issues, which I had as a child, and had some different things going on, and became digestion issues. As we get older, we know things change and evolve, and just very exciting. So she was explaining, and I didn't understand what she was talking about. My husband actually understood and looked up at PubMed.gov, like Marci was explaining to us, in the library of medicine, and saw some studies and watched that ABC report and was blown away. He's been taking this product for 10 years. And the hair product came out, and that was his hair. That Marci did show you his head, which he always gets a little with me, but that his head is on this video. But anyway, his hair was receding, and the hair product, which is natural, non-toxic, was great for him. My whole family uses that product, by the way. He also was suffering from headaches for many years, and just reducing that inflammation. Not that it cures, treats, or mitigates any kind of disease here, but it really helped. And his blood pressure, in return, actually, he went off of his medication, which was exciting. Okay, and let's go over to my kids. My daughter was dealing with a lot of stomach issues like her mother, and started doing the prebiotic, the probiotic. Her gut started to heal. We realized, that's related to a lot of different things, malfunctions in the body. And she was doing great. Nerf 2. We have something called a trisynergizer. And she then started the collagen, and she called me and she said, "Mom, my stomach is actually amazing now. Didn't realize that your gut lining is aligned with collagen." So my niece started doing it too. So we have a whole family history going on here. My son had immune issues going to college. You all know how that goes. Everyone gets sick all the time. He started taking Nerf 2. Kids were asking him what he's taking, and they all wanted it as well. And the focus, it helped. The Axio helps. My dog started taking it. Marci was helping me with my dog. He had an issue at 11, and was really difficult for him to take walks with me. We would go for miles and miles, and he just stopped. And after many doctor visits and a lot of medicine 3 times a day, started him on the Nerf 2 as well. He's 16. I'm glad to report he runs. I have to hold on to his leash, and he's dragging me. So, and I'm a good walker here. So it's great. People ask me how old my puppy is. And the last story I'll tell you is my parents. Like Phil, my parents had amazing things happen. My mom, her hands were very inflamed. Let's just say she couldn't open a bottle. She couldn't make her bed. The collagen came out within 10 days. She called me screaming because her hands were flat. They had very big nodules on them. They were in pain, and just a lot of hurt. So her hands are flat. You can see pictures. It's pretty amazing. And she got her life back. She can garden and do things. My dad is a big pickleball player at 76, drinks the Axio because he was getting dizzy, and they said he wasn't hydrated. Meanwhile, this has transformed to all these men who are on the golf course. They're all drinking the Axio. So I am just, grateful for this product and to be here to share this with you.
Thank you, Kim. I remember I literally was crying when you told me that your mom woke you up at 8:30 in the morning because she woke you up. You're like, "Mom, what's wrong?" Right? I remember you telling me, yeah. And she was like, "Kimmy, I made the bed." Yeah. She wasn't able to make her bed. And literally for her to be able to do that was just such a big deal. And now just a different world. And not saying products cure, heal, treat, mitigate. It's the body just being activated to do what it does naturally. And clearly this is tearing through your family, and your family's life experience is going to the next level. So yay. So happy and excited. All right. Well, we're going to move to New York. I got to say it like in New York, to meet with Tina Roberts, who has been sharing these products and using them herself with her family. Tina, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, Marci.
There you are.
So
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. So I would love to say activation. What does it look like in the world of Tina Roberts? Amazing. But the most amazing part is kind of what you can't see, for me, at least. So for years and years, I had one of my blood cells that was extremely high and extremely difficult to control. And I was getting frustrated because I didn't want it to be like that. And then one day, sure enough, a post on Facebook by a childhood friend popped up. And next thing you know, here I am now 8 months later after being activated with the NRF2, and the collagen is where I started. And now I can happily say that my body has activated that cell to be in a great spot for the first time in many, many years. So that was extremely exciting to me. So that's stuff that you can't see visibly on the outside of me, but it shows on the inside. So that was really, really exciting. Being activated on the Nerf 2 and the collagen, and then adding in the Nerf 1, I can say that you do see a glow to my skin. You do see a little bit of a pep in my step, and you see some other great things as well. And one thing that I added to my repertoire of stuff, which I absolutely love, is the Rise and the Reset vitamins. I think they're vitamins. I might be saying the wrong word. Sorry about that.
Nutritionals. Yeah.
There you go. Sorry about that. But the Rise AM and the Reset PM, the Rise gives me energy and focus, and the Reset gives me calmness where I get to sleep soundly through the night. You know, my body was activated and really getting in a good spot, but sleep was still something that it was being a little stubborn on. And by adding in the Reset, I sleep through the night. I don't hear my husband snoring. That's quality sleep right there. And starting the day up with the energy has also been amazing too. My body just feels like it's in sync for the first time in many, many months. So very happy with all of those amazing things. My family's on it. My dogs are on it too. And talk about energy, man, they have a lot of energy from taking the pet tandem.
Well, I know you're saying like it's all happening on the inside, but I saw your before picture and I'm seeing your after picture now. I'm looking at you since you've been activated with the collagen. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I wish I had the before and after to show everyone your picture, but thank you so much, because I know that you've been helping support people with their health for so long, and for you to be so passionate about your experience with these products, it just fills my heart. So thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you.
And I know we have the friend that you connected with here with us. So it's Dr. Michelle Libman for Stuart, Florida. She's double board certified in emergency room medicine and in internal medicine. She has she and her husband own urgent care and take care of first responders. She's an incredible doctor, extremely philanthropic, and was very allopathic in her approach. And I've very much enjoyed watching her learn about activation and start using it, not only with she and her family, but also with her patients. So Dr. Michelle Libman, are you here with us?
I am. Thank you.
Oh, there you are. Hi, welcome. So excited to hear what you have to share. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. So my journey with the Lifevantage product started about 5 years ago. As Marci mentioned, my husband and I owned several medical businesses. We actually were expanding our business and had taken out a large amount of money to start a new company. And unbeknownst to us, we were actually victims of fraud, and we had a lot of money stolen from us. And it was a very difficult time in our lives. We were under extreme stress. I wasn't eating very well. I wasn't sleeping very well. And I found myself getting very run down and sickly. I would literally go to work on Monday, and by Wednesday, I was home in bed. The stress was just devastating me. And as it happened, I turned old, 50, and I noticed that my eyes were getting dry. So I made an appointment to see my ophthalmologist, who's a good friend and extremely well-respected physician in the community. And as he was telling me about all these supplements I needed to take for my eyes, he mentioned zinc and lutein, and he happened to mention Nerf 2 activation, asking if I knew about it. And I was actually embarrassed to admit I had never heard of it. So he actually asked me to look it up because him and his wife and his whole family were taking it, and they felt amazing. And all I heard was they felt amazing, and I knew that I felt so lousy. So I was excited to start researching it, and I did go to PubMed.gov, which is, where physicians usually go to do research. And I saw all the science, and the science wasn't on the specific ingredients. The science was on the actual product, the Protandim. So I started to take it, and I actually had another employee in my office who was also having problems with her health. And we both started taking it at about the same time. And I was told that the older you are, the more oxidative stress that you've accumulated. So to give the product 1 month per decade that you've been alive. So for both of us, it was actually 5 months. So I just started taking it and I figured I'd just, check back in about 5 months. But at about the 3-month mark, my coworker came running into my office because she was so excited because she had been suffering with all these allergies and sinus problems. She had flown to Boston to see her daughter and flown back, and she didn't get sick. And she stated that she could never get on a plane without getting sick. And then I started looking back and I realized I wasn't really missing work anymore. I was well enough. I noticed my energy was better. I didn't need as much sleep. So I was thrilled. And then she asked if we can start taking her off some of her medication. So we started weaning her off her medication. And that was 5 years ago. And she's never had to go back on any of her medication. I then started my entire family on these products, including my elderly parents, my husband. He had an accident where he fell and he developed a huge hematoma on his leg, which got infected, and he had to have surgery, and he ended up on antibiotics for a long period of time. And that just wreaked havoc in his gut. And he ended up with chronic diarrhea. So, of course, I started him on the probiotic, which helped. And then when the collagen came out, people were mentioning that it was helping them with their sleep. And that was an issue that my husband really struggled with. So I actually gave him the collagen to help him with his sleep. But unbeknownst to me, he was still actually having a little bit of issues with his gut. And the collagen completely, I know I'm not allowed to say cured, but completely improved his gut health. Whereas he no longer suffers from any issues like that. He also had a condition with his skin where it felt like chicken skin. It was very rough. And that completely went away as well. His skin is as smooth as a baby's bottom. So I also started sharing the products with my patients. As Marci said, I was very allopathic, and now my mind has been opened. I'm much more open to holistic treatments. I've had patients who have gotten off several types of medication. I've had a patient get off oxygen. I've seen some amazing things happen. People's lives have really been transformed by these products.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing, for being here, for your openness. And I know we have the Lifevantage is attracting more and more and more very prestigious, shall I say, and competent physicians that are getting on board here and understanding that really activating the body and tapping into our whole gene makeup is really the future of wherever everything's heading. So I know you're going to be pioneering that at the beginning and into the future. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate you.
You, Marci.
Okay, well, here's another pioneer she's working in a different space in Washington, D.C. She's an engineer. She's on the board of the Business School of Maryland. She is just an incredible human, and we met through our children. And Lisa Anderson, incredible experience with the products. I asked her to come in and share. Lisa, are you here, my friend?
I'm here.
There you are. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your experience.
Absolutely. Well, about 16 years ago, when I turned 40, my body wasn't ready for that. I started having excruciating joint pain. I was going through a lot of things in my personal life, but this pain was a physical, it was just debilitating. It roamed all over my body. I really didn't know what the heck was going on. And my joints would literally lock up. My arm was, locked up to the point where I couldn't do my daughter's hair. At the time, I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, and my mom actually had to come from Washington, D.C. to sort of help me out with the kids. And I finally got diagnosed back in 2007, and the diagnosis resulted in taking an injection every 2 weeks in my stomach. And, fast forward, I moved back home to DC, And that's when I met Marci. And, she showed me this ABC News report that you guys saw earlier and told me about the power of activating your body and Lifevantage and the Protandim, how it fights the free radicals. So after hearing about the science and learning about the published research, I really jumped right in and started taking it. And that was about 7 years ago, taking the NRF2 and the NRF1. And subsequently, when we added the NAD, my favorite product is this Tri-Synergizer packet, activating my body. And so I just want to say, like, even though I was on a medication that really managed my condition, I was concerned about injecting my body, year after year. And now it had been 10 years of these chemicals. So having been on this lovely little product here for 4 years, I decided to give my body a break from the prescription injection. And, the first month went by and I felt great. The next month went by and the next and the next. And I was actually able to drastically reduce my medication and came off of it. And, I felt great. So what? I feel great. Who doesn't want to feel great? But the proof is in the labs, right? So my doctor ran all my blood work like he normally did every 6 months. And the results were amazing. And I know we don't want to say that we cure or treat or heal, but I'm just giving you the facts about my experience. And so for the past 7 years, I've been taking this Tri-Synergizer and have so much energy. I'm 56 years old now. I ski every year. And some of my younger colleagues just say, I don't know how you do it, because my job has me working all day and going to events all night. And I'm just always upbeat and full of energy. And I'm just so grateful for Marci and really for Lifevantage and all that they're doing in their research in nutrigenomics, and for Protandim Tri-Synergizer. It's really, impacted my life and my kids' life. So thank you for giving me a chance to share.
Thank you.
Story.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing with us. You know what? It's my honor. It's like people do not know about this. If you're watching this, you probably have never heard of this before. These are just individuals living their, authentic lives. And, it's just not easy today because we are under attack and we are looking for solutions. So thank you for sharing with us your experience, Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. And I know it just keeps getting better and better and better for you. All right. Well, we're going to go to Bismarck, North Dakota. I've never been there, but there's a beautiful woman there who's got 5 grown children and multiple grandchildren. And as she's continued to age, she is getting younger and younger on the inside. And I've invited Susan Sweeters to come in and just share a little bit about her, briefly her experience with us. And we've got one more amazing guest after Susan, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, Susan.
Hi, Marci. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm really excited to share tonight. Activation was introduced to me about 5 years ago. And after I started reading testimonials, all I could think of was like, I want those activators in my body. Exercise and nutrition has always been an interest of mine, and recognizing that I have some control in the way my body performs. And I realized that activation was just another piece to my wellness puzzle. My husband and I like to call it being proactive in our wellness versus waiting to be reactive in our sickness. And so we are both currently on the Tri-Synergizer, all 3 activators, the activating collagen and the activating brain drink, the Axio, which we absolutely love. My husband has a quick little story on the collagen. He fell this last winter in January and cracked a couple ribs. And he doubled up on his activating collagen and a couple of the other activators within 5 days. 5 days. He said to me, I feel great. And we checked with the functional medicine doctor, and she said, yes, this could actually be helping him heal that quickly. That was pretty phenomenal. I'm also using the skincare products. I had pretty much a reverse working with my dermatologist on some issues that we were concerned about. So I am just like that we just had some nice results. Anyway, so we had the opportunity to watch our parents as they aged, and we didn't exactly get the results. We're not hoping to repeat that. They had one diagnosis after another, which led to one medication after another, which just ended up meaning they were on like 8, 9, 10 different medications when they passed away. We are choosing to look a different way, and we want to look at general wellness in a more proactive way. We believe that activation is putting our body into balance, and it's allowing for greater natural healing and allowing us then to fire on all cylinders and helping us to rise to the occasion of aging and rise to the occasion of grandparenting, which we are super excited about.
Aww.
So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much. And I see you with your notes there. You've got like so many great stories, and thank you for being mindful about the way you're sharing the information with us. We never want to say we're curing, healing, treating, mitigating any disease, but I gotta tell you, you fired me up telling me the story about your husband, and
check it out.
I'm going to have a second one because it's so good. You inspire me. I'm like, I'm drinking this collagen. Okay. We are going to my friend, Carrie Conti. I'll tell you, she's been modeling on national television. She's an amazing mother. She is just I'm so grateful. Every single person, like if you are watching this and you're not with us right now and you're coming in later, I'm just grateful for your openness that you're hearing these stories. These products, activating your body, literally does have the ability to take your life experience to a whole nother level. Maybe one that you never have experienced yet. And people that we, not just our own, but the people that we love and we care about, like we love and we care about them. So I'm just excited. Carrie, can you come in, just share with us your experience with activation in your family? I know we're going to wrap this up here soon.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Good. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. So a few stories I'll quickly share. So the first one was I was introduced to watch that ABC News report and go to a meeting about 9 years ago. And when I saw that report, I knew this is going to change the trajectory of health forever. And what the person did not know, and she had courageously invited me, was that my dad at that time had about 5 weeks left to live. So when I did some research, I saw that the American Heart Association endorses this product because of the Ohio State heart study that was done. That was absolutely mind-blowing, remarkable. So I thought, as my dad had about a week, maybe a week and a half left to live, going into hospice, why not let's help activate his body, give him some Nerve 2, crush it up, put it in applesauce. Even if it helped him pass easier, I was going to be happy just to help him with that. So the day before he went into hospice, we crushed it up, helped him to take that. The nurse wanted to turn off his defibrillator, and we said, we're not ready. Kept crushing this up a few more days. And about 4 days later, that same nurse came back to me and said, I need to know what you're doing with that pill you're giving your dad because his vital signs are coming back. And my dad ended up living another year and a half. So, and when that had happened, he was still very sick, but 2 weeks later, he was out to lunch with his nurses in a wheelchair. He got to see family members. He got to see his name put on a building at Syracuse. I mean, he got extra time to do what he needed to do for the rest of this time on the planet because of, activating his body. So that was a massive gift. For myself, when I had started this, I had, not too soon after, just had my baby. He's 12 years old now. But I felt like I had aliens in my body. I was like living outside of myself. I had joint pain. I felt like all of my nutrients were just, given to my child, and I was trying to recover and thrive again, living in my own skin every day. And I didn't know how to do that. So, enter activation, and literally within 2 to 3 days of activating my own pathways, I was getting such rested sleep. My elbows, my wrists, my joints began feeling so much better, so calmed down, uninflamed, just easier to move, mobile, jumping off of rocks. And I felt energy. So that was amazing. Enter my son. I'll wrap up with this. He is now 12, but around 3.5, we were told that he had some developmental delays. And he was a very happy baby, joyful baby, but I could see some disconnect, not really looking me in the eyes, not much communication, kind of social detachment that he was trying to achieve. It was the information was going in, but not coming out. So we had been told again that he, had some delays, and we began helping him activate his body at about 3.5, 4 years old. Quarter of a tablet, crushed it up, put it in some chocolate coconut ice cream, and literally again, within 2 to 3 days, we were standing in the kitchen, and I felt like when he was looking me in the eyes, I felt like I could see the soul of my child coming through. It was as if veils began falling off of him as his own body was helping to take care of what it needed to reduce those toxins that were causing this detachment inside of himself. He began communicating. He was looking at me, all of these things. So then we ended up helping him with NRF1, activate his own mitochondria a few years later. And we saw more veils come off, more presence in his life. Again, more communication. And the school psychologist had come up to me a few years after that and said, I have to tell you that when he first came to school, I was very concerned. He wasn't really looking me in the eyes, not interacting. And he said, I just went into his classroom and I took a look at the kids. I would not ever think he had any developmental delays at all. He looked at me straight in the eyes and said, whatever you are doing, it is absolutely magic. Don't stop, keep going. So my son is 12. He is doing incredible. He plays an instrument. He reads. He's socially thriving. He talks all the time. And what this has done is literally not only changed his present day life, it has changed the trajectory of his life and future generations to come. I will be forever grateful for activating in Lifevantage.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Carrie. I'm like practically speechless right now. Like, wow, all of your stories were incredible. And I just want to say, if you guys are like, you have maybe some questions right now, you want to explore some more, there's ways to do it. You might turn to the internet, just stay away from Google because anybody can put anything on the internet. If you want to search up, I recommend as a search engine to use Google Scholar instead of Google. Right? Scholar.google.scholar, or you can Google Scholar. It filters out the bloggers and advertisers and gets you right to the facts. You can also get into our product education groups. There's a lot. My gosh, if you're into animals, go to YouTube, type in Pro Tandem dogs, Pro Tandem horses. You're going to see videos there, information. There's a lot that's posted. And each person, whoever invited you here to watch this overview, has their own unique link to the Lifevantage website. You want to ask them for that website link because there's complete transparency. You can go there to shop, and every product is going to list all the ingredients, active ingredients, inactive ingredients, complete transparency when it comes to Lifevantage. There's really nothing to hide here, okay? And of course, we can get you connected to a product expert for a consultation at no charge to help you prioritize where to start. You will get the product at a discount from retail if you become a subscriber. When you become a subscriber, your account will go active immediately. You'll have your own password so you can cancel at any time. You can change what you get. Remember, I said you want to keep going with it because it's going to get better and better over time. But you have complete control over your account. And also we have a loyalty program. So talk to the person who invited you here about our loyalty program and how you can get the product at the least expensive price and as well as discounted shipping. Thank you so much again for being here, to all of our guests and for everyone who has come and watched with us this evening. For those that have come and watched the replay, we can't wait to explore these products with you and your family. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to hear your stories as you activate your bodies and your lives go to that next level. Blessings to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really been an honor.